Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026 7:15. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. Our top story comes from the semiconductor infrastructure layer, where ASML has delivered another important signal about AI related manufacturing demand. The company reported second quarter net sales of 9.3 billion euros and net income of 2.9 billion euros. More significantly for the industry, ASML raised its full year sales outlook to between 43 billion and 45 billion euros, with an expected gross margin range of 54 to 56%. According to ASML management, stronger visibility reflects continued investment tied to AI and customer plans to expand advanced logic and memory manufacturing capacity. That matters because ASML's lithography systems sit at the very beginning of the advanced chip supply chain. Orders for these tools often precede actual AI accelerator production by many months. However, today's announcement also highlights an important distinction for practitioners. Bookings are not the same as shipped systems, backlogs are not the same as revenue, and planned manufacturing capacity does not automatically translate into fully utilized AI infrastructure. Factors including customer spending, export controls, fab construction schedules, yields, and downstream demand can all change how these investments ultimately play out. The raised outlook is therefore a strong upstream capacity signal, but it should not be interpreted as proof that every planned AI infrastructure expansion will immediately generate productive compute or sustained service revenue. Our next story looks at production AI infrastructure in South Korea, where DOM's AI search summary service is now running on a fully deployed domestic technology stack. Upstage, AXZ, and Furiosa AI disclosed that DOM's live search summaries use Upstage's Solar language model running on Furiosa AI's RNGD accelerators. This is noteworthy because the announcement moves beyond compatibility demonstrations into a production deployment serving real consumer search traffic. DOM handles retrieval through its search platform, relevant documents are passed to Solar for response generation, and inference runs on a multi-node cluster built around Furiosa AI's hardware. For infrastructure teams, this deployment provides a practical example of retrieval augmented generation operating at scale. At the same time, the reported performance and cost advantages remain vendor claims without publicly disclosed benchmark conditions. The most meaningful questions now concern operational metrics rather than launch announcements. Engineers will be watching latency distributions, accelerator utilization, uptime, answer quality, retrieval freshness, and overall cost per completed search. The significance here is not simply that a domestic model exists, but that a domestic model and accelerator combination has entered a live production environment where those operational characteristics can be observed over time. Our third top story comes from AI-assisted drug discovery. SK Telecom and SK Biopharmaceuticals announced that their collaborative discovery workflow has identified two early hit compounds targeting RR1, a cancer-associated cell surface protein. The companies describe a workflow combining machine learning, reinforcement learning, GPU-backed structural prediction, and laboratory validation. SK Biopharmaceuticals designed the discovery strategy, while SK Telecom generated and prioritized candidate molecular binders before laboratory testing confirmed two early hits. According to the companies, this initial discovery work took roughly 5 months, compared with an internal estimate of 1 to 2 years using conventional methods. It is important to understand exactly what this milestone represents. These are early laboratory hit compounds, not optimized drug candidates, not preclinical results, not clinical trials, and not evidence of patient benefit. The achievement is a faster design test cycle supported by experimental validation. Every subsequent stage, including lead optimization, toxicity testing, preclinical development, clinical trials, and regulatory review, still requires its own evidence. The announcement demonstrates progress in accelerating early discovery workflows rather than a therapeutic breakthrough. One broader theme connects today's leading stories. Whether we're discussing semiconductor manufacturing, production inference systems, or drug discovery, the strongest developments are happening in operational infrastructure rather than headline model releases. Across these announcements, the emphasis is on measurable deployment, engineering workflows, and production readiness. At the same time, each story also reminds us that forward looking expectations should remain separate from verified outcomes, whether those outcomes involve chip utilization, inference economics, or biological effectiveness. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. London based Meticulous has raised a $15 million Series A led by chemistry, with participation from Menlo Ventures. The company develops AI assisted front end regression testing software that compares user flows before and after proposed code changes so developers can review visual differences before merging code. Meticulous says customers include Notion, 11 Labs, Dropbox, Wiz, and LaunchDarkly, and plans to expand beyond front end testing into back end and performance coverage. The available reporting does not provide audited measurements of defect reduction or engineering productivity, so organizations evaluating similar tools should focus on practical metrics such as escape defects, flaky test rates, review time, maintenance effort, and coverage across meaningful application states, rather than assuming automatically generated tests provide comprehensive software verification. Taken together, today's stories reinforce several important trends shaping the AI industry. Investment continues to flow into the physical infrastructure required to manufacture advanced chips. Production deployments are increasingly demonstrating alternative hardware and software stacks outside the largest global platforms. AI is becoming a practical accelerator for scientific workflows while still depending on laboratory validation. And software engineering continues to add specialized verification layers as AI-generated code becomes more common in development pipelines. For technical teams, these developments also illustrate the value of separating leading indicators from proven operational results. Capacity expansion is different from utilization. Production deployment is different from benchmark marketing. Early scientific discovery is different from clinical success. Maintaining those distinctions leads to more reliable forecasting and better engineering decisions as AI systems continue to mature across industries. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.